Hey folks, welcome to another video. Earlier this month I went to AWE and the folks at XREAL had a huge presence at AWE, including not just a booth presence on the expo hall floor, but also a keynote and a bunch of other presentations that discussed the current state of XREAL's glasses, but also the future state of Project Aura, their upcoming Android XR device. I took along my XREAL 1 glasses with the XREAL Eye camera accessory, and I captured a little bit of footage of one of the panels, which you'll see a little bit later in this video. But first, let's go through about a 5-minute period of time explaining a little bit more about the future state of XREAL with the Project Aura device.
Along with Android XR on the Muhan Lite platform, we also have our partners at XREAL, who I believe she will be going on today also on the stage. And this actually uses, again, our technology as well, working with what XREAL has done on Project Aura. This is a lighter platform with optical see-through, again, giving the consumers all the options to be able to really bring all those advantages to the consumers and our partners. Again, it utilizes the 6DoF, the perception technology, and many of the capabilities that we have in our solutions through the wired compute device.
Project Aura, our vision for the future with the help of Google and Qualcomm. 3 weeks ago, we finally introduced Project Aura. The response has been incredible. This is a lightweight and tethered, cinematic, and AI-powered device. Project Aura will bring a new wired XR glasses experience to the Android XR family. Project Aura uses XREAL's proven track record in lightweight XR hardware, Android XR platform, and Qualcomm Technologies Snapdragon XR chipset optimized for spatial computing. We finally feel like all the pieces are ready. We have the hardware that is really catching up to the vision. We have the form factor that is finally wearable, and we have Android XR, which is an open platform for developers and also consumers. Most importantly, Gemini just bring the whole thing to the next level. We really believe AI is going to elevate the spatial computing beyond reality. And earlier this morning, during the Qualcomm keynote, Ziad also shared Qualcomm is excited to be working with XREAL to bring the Snapdragon-powered device for Project Aura. And also, I'm very proud to add that XREAL's award-winning X1 spatial chip will bring the native spatial computing of the Project Aura to the next level. So the X1 chip for Project Aura is actually something even newer. It is X1X. It is a modified version of the X1 that's about 25% faster and also optimized for multitasking. This will be made for Project Aura. So Project Aura will be one solution made, X1S will be on the glasses, and on the other side, there will be dedicated wired computing unit. And Snapdragon combined X1 and as a coprocessor and also the PUC to power the entire Project Aura. We're not stopping from there. Also, we want a bigger field of view. Especially, we want to power the full potential of Android XR. So I can confirm today that Project Aura is going to have not 50, more than 70-degree field of view. So this is massive. And consider this is a perfect balance between the form factor and the immersion of the display. You get the largest optical see-through field of view that can really unleash the full potential of Android XR. We have Android XR as open platform. We have the biggest field of view you can possibly get from OST. We have the best chipset combo from X1S and also the Qualcomm Snapdragon. And Project Aura will come in next year. Also, if you're developers, please don't wait. Sign up to get more updates on our site to start developing or learn more about the latest updates. And we will have more to share later this year.
Our Air 2 Ultra glasses and our Beam Pro AR handheld, they're kind of like spiritual predecessors for Project Aura. They're great solutions for you to start developing with today to get ready for what comes tomorrow.
We have announced back at Google I/O a few weeks ago and talked a little bit about it this week, our next project called Project Aura, which is our XR glasses for Android XR, the first OST device for Android XR, and we're really excited about it. We're talking about a 70-degree field of view. We're talking about a small flat prism lens. We're talking about a high-end power chip in the device up here, but also a Snapdragon chip in the compute device that maybe that's in the pocket, maybe it's on the table. We're really excited about that and what that opportunity means for developers, because it is Android XR. And the promise to developers is, if you're developing for Android today, you're coming into Android XR tomorrow if you want to. If you're developing for the first device on Android XR today, Samsung's Project Muon, and you should be, you can come into XREAL's Project Aura tomorrow, and you should be. So that open ecosystem of Android, which is what the biggest mobile platform in the world, has got an opportunity for developers, whatever you make, to bring it into Android XR, and then have different categories of what that could look like. You have your option of different kinds of hardware, different kinds of headsets. It's an ecosystem of devices that we're very happy to be a part of. And that's a good option for developers, it's a great option for customers. So we're super supportive of what is being built between Google, Qualcomm, and those hardware partners. And then when you tie Gemini into that, it's just fantastic. So we come back to AI that we started the conversation with. All the pieces are there to make this really offer something for everyone.
Now, beyond Project Aura, these glasses right here, the XREAL 1 Pro, this little accessory camera, the XREAL Eye, and the XREAL Neo battery bank device were all brought up as part of the XREAL keynote by Ralph.
After the success of XREAL 1, XREAL 1 Pro is here. Bringing XREAL 1 Pro to life is our X1 chip that she talked about, plus our new flat prism optics. 1 Pro features the AR industry's largest field of view available today at 57 degrees. The flat prism lens in 1 Pro, which we call X Prism, is 44% smaller than our previous triangular bird bath lens, but it produces a nearly 15% larger field of view from 1 to 1 Pro, with no glare, no reflections, since it's no longer a triangle. Thinner glasses, bigger visuals. Along with large FOVs and killer performance from X1, 1 Pro brings a stunning 32:9 ultra-wide mode, rich and immersive sound by Bose, the best in the business, 700 nits brightness, 120 hertz refresh, 3D content viewing, native spatial controls built into the glasses, industry-leading 3 milliseconds motion to photon latency. And as of today, more than 10,000 1 Pro pre-orders have shipped, have been delivered, or are being delivered this week. To our patient pre-order customers, thank you. General availability for 1 Pro begins July 1, with 1 Pro becoming available on Amazon and BestBuy.com for the very first time. From now through the end of June, 1 Pro will see its final run of a special pre-order pricing of $599 on our website only. Then general availability starts July 1, $649. We're also releasing in general availability our XREAL Eye. It's a tiny modular camera created for XREAL 1 and XREAL 1 Pro glasses. A technological breakthrough, we figured out how to unlock 6-DoF anchoring for our glasses through this little RGB camera. And with only 3 milliseconds of motion to photon latency, that makes it the fastest pair of AR glasses with 6-DoF coming from the glasses and not from your extra puckered phone. It's in our booth, it's available for demos this week. You need to check this out, it's pretty cool. All right, we're not stopping there. Our team is hard at work unlocking multimodal AI, gesture controls, and mapping for the eye camera as well. We'll also open up the SDK for the eye for developers to tinker around with for more features in the future. XREAL Eye is $99, and pre-orders begin mid-June, and then general availability at the start of July. There's a product gap for using high-performance AR glasses with high-performance handheld consoles, and that's battery strain. At XREAL, we are a team of gamers, and today we're introducing a new accessory to help address that pain. XREAL Neo is the only pocket-sized power bank built for AR. It's a super simple concept with super impactful results. You snap Neo to your handheld gaming console or your phone. It provides extra hours of battery life while offering extra USB-C for video pass-through so our glasses can continue to go into the device. No more staring down at our handholds all the time and hurting our necks. No more stressing out about battery strain. Neo gives you more power plus video pass-through for your Switch, Steam Deck, ROG Ally, G Cloud, Legion Go, Blaze, Claw, all of them. Neo is a 10,000 milliamp per hour magnetic power bank with 2 USB-C ports, with 30-watt fast self-charging and 20-watt fast device charging. We think it's the ultimate plug-and-play accessory for gamers on the go. And it'll be available later this summer. So for us, the future's bright, the future has aura, the future's so bright, I'm gonna say it, we gotta wear shades. Thank you.
I'm using ultra-wide mode in the XREAL 1 Pro. It's a similar experience to my XREAL 1, but as you can see, this prism-based lens architecture, the optics are much closer to your eyes, and thus give you a little bit wider field of view. So, it's a battery bank. Does it have any other functionality?
It's the battery bank and the video pass-through. So that will allow you to charge something and also pull the video signal.
As I mentioned earlier, I took both photos and videos with this tiny little camera device. This accessory device sits right within the nose bridge of the XREAL 1 series glasses. It's got a tiny little connector on the top here, and it is so small. It fits right here in the palm of my hand. I had a lot of fun experimenting with the XREAL Eye at AWE, and I'm going to be continuing to experiment in the future. I will mention, it holds about 8 minutes and 30 seconds of video in the 2 gigabytes of storage that's available on the XREAL 1 series glasses. So you can't film an entire film using it without offloading the footage. The footage can be offloaded to your phone, Beam Pro device, or offloaded to your computer using a transmission mode that comes directly from the glasses once the photos are stored on the glasses.
The first thing I think of is the real challenge that the analysts have in defining all these different categories. So good luck with that, Tim, and the analyst community. Smart glasses, wearable displays, spatial computing, we're all we're going to head in the right direction, but we're sitting in a seat where XREAL iterates really fast and really often, firmly in the wearable display. And like you mentioned earlier, we've done wearable display glasses since about 19 and 20. And they were triangular bird bats, a big lens. And the goal was, here's your big screen. And that's great because it's plug and play and it's simple and folks can understand it and they can connect our glasses to your iPhone, your Android phone, your Steam Deck, your ROG Ally, your Nintendo Switch, your MSI Claw, your PCs, your Macs, your Xbox, your PlayStations, it just keeps going. We connect to your devices, here's your big screen. And it's really complicated, but it's unsophisticated at the same time.
But in addition to photos and videos, this tiny little camera unlocks the ability to place a spatial display and be able to fully walk around it in 6 degrees of freedom, meaning you can move up, down, left, right, but also forward and back, and literally walk around a display and see the back of it, kind of a reverse image of that display. And some developers have already got this working to use hand gestures as well. So hand tracking is available, unconfirmed by XREAL, but confirmed by some developers that have gotten it working themselves using the XREAL Eye with the 1 series glasses. So it's pretty cool that this tiny little camera can enable functionality that was previously only available with the Nreal Lite and the XREAL Air 2 Ultra. I'm excited to see what comes in the future with the XREAL Eye. Ralph mentioned a little bit more about it in the presentation that you just saw, but this is a pretty cool accessory, and stay tuned. I want to see more from this in the future. It's a 12 megapixel sensor, kind of dark for the image quality as far as I can see, and it renders the audio out as a FLAC codec, which is really good quality, but really hard to edit when you're using a PC editor software. So I had to actually edit that clip on my phone in order to recognize the audio. Otherwise, it was just crashing DaVinci Resolve on my computer. Many thanks to Ralph and the Augie winning XREAL team for sending me over a pair of the XREAL 1 Pro glasses. So after I got home from AWE, these showed up in the mail. These are the XREAL 1 Pro glasses. And the XREAL 1 Pro are a bit different from the XREAL 1. And in some ways, they're fantastic and way better than the XREAL 1. Again, they fit a little bit closer to my face, as I mentioned in the booth. I get really good image quality with a larger field of view, 57 degrees as opposed to 52 degrees field of view. And overall, it's a smaller profile, but it also doesn't have that shirt reflection that I get from the triangular prism bird bath displays. XREAL 1, if you hold them over them, are about the same size. It's really more so about the optics, the tiny prism that unlocks what used to only be available through standard triangular bird bath displays. I'm impressed with the technology, but I will say text readability to me seems to be a little bit better on the original XREAL 1 versus the XREAL 1 Pro. So if you're looking for something as a productivity device, yes, it enables more wider field of view. Yes, it disables that reflection of light from below that you get with the triangular bird bath displays, but it can also reduce some of the clarity that you get with text, which can be a problem if you're using these primarily for productivity. If you're using them for entertainment purposes, these are by far the best glasses that you can get today. They have an extremely good picture quality. You can tune the color profile. You can do 3D with both half side-by-side and full side-by-side 3D. Very immersive glasses. Very, very well done, very well built. Unless you're going into ultra-wide mode, which again, I feel like the 1 glasses are a bit better than the 1 Pro. Ultra-wide mode is my absolute favorite mode on the 1 series glasses. I use that virtual ultra-wide display in 32 by 9 pretty regularly using my 1 glasses. When I switched it on though, on the 1 Pro, one of the things I noticed is there's a curvature on the sides and a curvature kind of across the top, which is not present when using the 1 glasses. And I think again it has to do with the new X Prism based optic stack. It's not super noticeable when you first turn them on and you start turning your head, but if you move regularly from side to side or tilt your head up and down, you will notice it and it will stick with you. And that's terrible, unfortunately. And I hope it's something that with future software enhancements they can correct. Because I think it's something that just kind of warps the image along the sides because of how the prism-based optics are built. I do not have that problem when using the XREAL 1 glasses. The XREAL 1 in ultra-wide is super fluid, works really well, and I don't have that type of warping along the sides or the top. The best way to try these glasses is actually to try them for yourself. It's really hard to convey from my own eyes what your eyes might see because everyone's eyes are different. And also my computer setup could be different than others as well. I've noticed if you use a 16 by 9 mode versus a 16 by 10 mode, or if you convert the monitor to a specific graphic size, sometimes it diminishes that warping along the sides and top. But overall, I feel like both of these sets of glasses are great. I think the 1 Pro are fantastic if you want a slightly wider field of view. But I feel like the original XREAL 1 really provide all-in-one, no pun intended, if you're using it for general purpose than the One Pro. If you want to watch sports or concerts or any other type of media consumption, these glasses are the star. The One Pro are fantastic for media consumption. But if you're actually trying to work in a spatial environment with these glasses on, I feel like the One kind of edges them out still. Either way, both of these sets of glasses are good choices, whether you have the One or the One Pro. The One, like I said, at least for me, for my eyes, gives a little bit better text readability, gives you a better ultra-wide experience if you're moving back and forth a lot. If you're just fixed on the center of that ultra-wide image a lot, or just slowly turning your head and maybe fixating on one section of the screen at a time, the One Pro are fantastic. But that little warping needs to really be fixed. Hopefully it can be fixed in a future software update. I know XREAL is currently working on a bunch of software updates. They're going to be adding a new version of Nebula for PC and Mac, which might actually correct some of that ultra-wide issue that I'm seeing. They've also recently updated the Beam Pro software to have a trackpad-based navigation for Nebula OS, which, thank goodness, I love that. And there's lots of other features. The One and One Pro recently got a software update that actually made text readability a little bit better on the One Pro versus what it was when I first received them. So I'm excited to see what the future holds from XREAL, not just with the future product of the Project Aura device, which will run on Android XR, but also with the future of the One Series glasses and the accessories like this XREAL Eye right here, which is just an accessory camera for $99, but unlocks a lot of additional potential from the glasses themselves. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more content soon. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR, AR, XR. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.